This event is one of hundreds arranged through the Green Faith International Network. They work with people of faith from diverse spiritual backgrounds. The 100 million people being represented call for an end to fossil fuels and deforestation, a just, equitable transition to 100% renewable energy, post-COVID-19 build back fossil-free, for countries to provide a welcome for climate refugees and people impacted by climate chaos, and for climate reparations from wealthy countries responsible for the lion's share of emissions historically. The children and young people in this group made our banner, and the hands represent people from every country in the world. This is the message from our meeting. Our event took place in the middle of Liverpool, next to this magnificent Blue Coat chamber. This courtyard next to Radio Merseyside is normally bustling with people going from one shopping area to another. The following are poems and prose that are meaningful to us and say something that for us captures what climate justice is about.
I'll read a passage that very much speaks to our age, which was written by John Woolman in 1772. The produce of the earth is a gift from our gracious Creator to the inhabitants, and to impoverish the earth now to support our outward greatness appears to be an injury to the succeeding age.
So this is a quote from David Dimbleby. Climate change is here. We need to take dramatic action to limit the effects and avoid irreversible damage to our natural world and collapse of societies.
This is from Advices and Queries, number 41 and 42. Try to live simply. A simple lifestyle freely chosen is a source of strength. Do not be persuaded into buying what you do not need or cannot afford. Do you keep yourself informed about the effects your style of living is having on the global economy and environment? Number 42. We do not own the world, and its riches are not ours to dispose of at will. Show a loving consideration for all creatures, and seek to maintain the beauty and variety of the world. Work to ensure that our increasing power over nature is used responsibly, with reverence for life. Rejoice in the splendour of God's continuing creation.
Green Faith focuses on ending the use of fossil fuels. This is really important because it drives up climate change, and the next poem will illustrate some of the fears we have about this.
Flood. We live in the promise of miraculous lakes, Dagenham, Greenwich, Wapping, the Isle of Dogs. When the siren sounds, those in the blue environs should proceed immediately to non-risk zones. Spring tides, high winds, the days we can hear of nothing else, our eyes bright with disaster. Our dreams a chronicle of mounting anarchy, the river folk frantic, ships trapped in trees. And the dove we sent out, when it came back, had the brown greys of estuaries on its beak. In our dreams, no sandbags hold back the flood. We would bring the whole world down if we could.
This is from Christina Figueres and Tom Rivett-Carnack's book, The Future We Choose. The planet will survive, in changed form no doubt, but it will survive. The question is whether we'll be there to witness it. That's why climate change is the mother of all issues. This crisis dwarfs and encompasses any other issues we may care about. Climate change should be of concern to all who care about social justice. It affects the poor in every country disproportionately, not only because they're often more exposed and invariably more vulnerable to climate-related shocks, but also because they have fewer resources with which to respond to disaster. Climate change should be of concern to all who care about health. The burning of fossil fuels releases the greenhouse gas emissions that are responsible for climate change. But the burning of the very same fossil fuels also pollutes the local ambient air with particulate matter. Microscopic pollutants in the air slip past our body's defences, penetrating deep into our respiratory and circulatory systems, damaging our lungs and hearts and brains. They are so pernicious to human health that more than 7 million people die from air pollution each year, right now. Climate change should be of concern to all who care about economic stability and investment value. It's no secret that coal has lost its financial viability in most parts of the world because it can no longer compete with cheaper and cleaner renewable energy. Coal mines and coal plants are closing, and there is increasing momentum in the coal divestment movement, likely to be followed by divestment from other fossil fuels. Central banks around the world are assessing the microeconomic risk of trillions of dollars invested in those high carbon assets. The consensus is growing that we need to shift smoothly but decisively into clean energy assets. Finally and fundamentally, climate change should be of concern to all who care about intergenerational justice, which should be every one of us. If we fail to act as we should, future generations will be powerless to undo the inexorable consequences of our failure, hence our profound moral responsibility to them. Failure to make hard choices now will rob our children and grandchildren of their rightful future. Thank you.
Earth is our common home, and we believe that if enough of us stand together, things can be different.
A prayer for our earth. All-powerful God, you are present in the whole universe and in the smallest of your creatures. You embrace with your tenderness all that exists. Pour out upon us the power of your love, that we may protect life and beauty. Fill us with peace, that we may live as brothers and sisters, harming no one. O God of the poor, help us to rescue the abandoned and forgotten of this earth, so precious in your eyes. Bring healing to our lives, that we may protect the world and not prey on it, that we may sow beauty, not pollution and destruction. Touch the hearts of those who look only for gain at the expense of the poor and the earth. Teach us to discover the worth of each thing, to be filled with awe and contemplation, to recognize that we are profoundly united with every creature as we journey towards your infinite light. We thank you for being with us each day. Encourage us, we pray, in our struggle for justice, love, and peace.